Hello, beautiful people. Um, I wanted to talk about something real fast. I haven't done a video on my story in a long time. And the truth is, I think I'm ready to stop telling my story. I know it'll come up every now and then, but my story is one of many. What I want to talk about is why we fell for it for so long. The children who were raised by these monsters. Why we fell for it for so long. By now, we all are becoming well aware of what narcissism is, what it looks like. Also, don't mind me, autistic. Needed something to do, polishing a beautiful crystal. So, when you're a child raised by somebody who uses their children to get whatever they need, when we're too young to be any kind of source, but too old to get attention, that's usually when we didn't see them. Those years between, I don't know, like 3 and 10, 3 and 13. It's when we are not necessarily the likable child age. You know, they say the terrible twos, but what they don't tell you is how long the terrible twos last. 2 is not the worst of it. For most children, at least. But I realize now why I didn't feel like I had a mom growing up until I was about 12 years old. She was never there. I found that she owned multiple addresses. She was owner of an apartment, maybe 2, during the time I was growing up, in a mold-covered, broke-down, single-wide trailer in the woods. Getting poisoned by the well water and heavy metals. Eating cat food. Partially because I was hungry and there was nothing to eat, and partially because I loved my cat Rex. I loved that cat. And my brother told me that if I ate cat food, I'd be able to talk to him. So I ate cat food. It was Friskies or Whiskas. It was ever the cheap brand was. Oh, no, it was a something mix. Meow mix? No, it might have been. Something like that. I distinctly remember it being a gray and black stripy cat, and it was mostly oranges, orange to yellow with a couple of browns in there. Somewhere looked like little donuts. Some looked like, I think, little X's. Oh, was that X's and O's? Is that Meow Mix? Oh, god damn. Why am I... Okay, sorry about that tangent. But yeah. But I survived. I lived off of a lot of huckleberries in the woods. And, fortunately, I didn't have much of an appetite anyway. So, I was really pretty much taking care of myself for a lot of years. When my stepdad showed up, it got better, at least then I had a bed and I had somebody looking out for me. That's really all he ever was doing, was looking out for me. I love you, Vinny. I'm sorry for everything. And I know you are too. always be my Vinnie Whisker Wars. And I don't blame you for anything. Not anymore. Your care for me was the last thing that she had to steal. For me to feel completely alone. You almost made it. But she destroyed your soul so many years ago. I miss you, Vinny. You can always call me Bethy Freckleface, okay? But I'm always going to call you my Vinnie Whisker Wars. She was convincing. She was convincing as an empathetic person. Because my mom had a couple of skills. For a while there, she was actually very beautiful. But then the drugs took their toll. And she couldn't use that as easily anymore. So, she wasn't just a skilled dog show lady. She wasn't, actually, she wasn't very skilled. That was the problem. She was always subpar. She wasn't good at anything. She was passable at best. But I got my daddy's brain. Corky and all. So she also had a couple of gifts, one being Machiavellianism. Yeah. She was really good at feeling like she was owed anything she wants. That in this life it was all for her. And if she wanted to trade her daughter for drugs, that was her decision. I didn't have a say in it. I was property. She was really good at believing that she was owed anything she wanted at any cost. And at 3 years old, 2 years old, right around there, I couldn't do much for her. I couldn't bring her things. But she found a use for me. And it scarred me for life. But the scary one, the one that keeps us trapped so long, that's something called cognitive empathy. It came up in a Tamara Hill chat today. Cognitive empathy. They are aware of what empathy is. Cognitively, they understand how empathy works. They have cognitive empathy, but they don't have empathy. And this allows them to fake it. They can feign empathy because they understand it. And that's what she did. She would cry with people, laugh with them, support them through all their worst times and their hardest moments. She would sit with them and listen to all of their hardships, all of their pains. And she would even complain about it. Say that everybody always comes to her for advice, but she doesn't have anyone she can go to. So, I do what every abused girl does when her mother needs something or someone. And she starts crying because she has nobody to help her. We will do anything to stop those tears. When you play my role in that play. I don't mean to put this gender specific. It's just how it came out of my mouth. If you're the pleaser, you'll do anything to make sure your mom doesn't cry anymore. Don't worry, Mom. I'll listen to your problems. You can talk to me. No, I couldn't do that to you. No, Mom, it's okay. I can listen. All I'm doing is listening. I'm here for you. I mean... I don't know, buddy. But thank you so much. I would tell you everything. Every horrific fear, every anxiety, every pain, every disgusting thing about people that she decided to make up. That was when she started poisoning the idea of people in my mind, telling me who was good and who was bad, who was dangerous to be around. When I was younger and I didn't want to be the helper, I was put into the role because bill collectors don't yell at little girls. Or so they say. There's a lot of people who didn't think I was a 6-year-old being forced to answer the phone. They thought it was her playing out of voice. And they knew I was lying when I would tell them she's not home. Because I wasn't good at lying. And my voice would tremble. Because I knew it was wrong. And I thought I would get that guilt, that blame, that there was some phone police and I was going to go to phone jail for lying. I was afraid of everything and everyone. And I was afraid of losing anyone. And I heard things that a child doesn't need to hear. I became the therapist or the life coach of my own goddamn mother. she would show me what it's like to be a good friend, to listen, to hear those stories. Because I was always around when she had friends over because I liked all of her friends. They were nice, good people for the most part. And she would show me what it is to be a good listener, a supportive friend, somebody who is always there for the people that they care about. And then as soon as they were gone, she'd have her new little notes written or things to remember that she could bring up later. Worst possible time to do the most possible damage from whoever just bared their soul. As she had feigned empathy. Now I have dry mouth. So I'm going to speed this up. They trick us so long because they convince us that they do have feelings, that they do understand the pain, because they do. But they do what they do because they don't care how we feel. We fell for it because everybody fell for it. Your mom is wonderful. She's always so helpful and kind, and she always listens when people need to, just air their problems. You are so lucky. Yeah. I was lucky that I watched what a good friend does when she faked it. I came out of my life okay because my mom is a dark empath. Cognitively, she gets it. She just doesn't give a fuck. She gets it, but she doesn't have it. And it's hard not to believe that somebody has a heart when they cry at every movie when you cry. And then you realize that they know you're afraid of your dolls coming to life. They know you're afraid of the living doll movies more than anything else, but they get you a porcelain doll every year to stare at you from a shelf across the room. Every Christmas, that's your big gift. I told her one day, I said, those dolls terrified me. She said, yeah, I know. Yeah, Chewy, we're going. But... Hey. They know. And they don't give a fuck. Yeah. And that's why people think that they're a good person and a best friend. I love you all unconditionally. Because I learned from the person my mother pretended to be. Not the person she was. We're all gonna be okay. We really are. Come here, Chew. We're all gonna be okay. Because it wasn't us that was ever the problem. That voice in your head isn't yours. Even thrown stones shake us. Love who you are because you are worth loving. I know because I love you. And anybody would have followed for it. But we had to survive. Don't feel bad for waking up so late. At least you woke up.